Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Augustine,
I'm Artie.
my child, and this is our home in Brooklyn. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
My name is Augustine Sedgewick. I'm an author. I write books. My most recent book is called Fatherhood, A History of Love and Power, and it's in part inspired by my child, Arthur.
Hello, my name is Arthur. I do school and I live here.
Yes, we're in our apartment, in our kitchen right now, where Arthur and I live together in Brooklyn. We moved here not long after Arthur was born, and we were really looking for a place where we could grow together. And this is in a complex of apartment buildings that was designed by the person who designed Rockefeller Center. Wallace K. Harrison, I think,
Wallace K. Harrison, I think,
is the person who designed these apartment buildings. One of the reasons why I chose this apartment is because the living room is very big. There's this structural pillar right in the middle. I always had the idea that we could use bookshelves to carve out a space for Arthur in this part of the room. When we first moved here, I kind of did it on my own, DIY, which is not my strength, admittedly. Well, I got two Billy bookcases from IKEA, and there were two here and three on that axis, and it kind of just defined the space. And you could kind of go around the side of the bookcases there, and you could go around the side of the bookcases there to get access to Arthur's room. It's a really wonderful place to live and work and hang out and relax. And then during the day, Arthur's at school. He comes home from school. I make a little dinner. We eat at our beautiful table among our books. Then we go out and play at the playground, and sometimes we go for a gelato. And here's my child.
hello, come on in. Well, my favorite part is you can do this and just sleep. And also, when you don't sleep in the covers, they're nice and like cool. Like I like them. I really like geography, so Dad bought me this. This is Angola. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Benihana, Buddha, Watsa. Okay, enough about that. This is Jeppy. I used to suck my fingers, which would make my teeth a little crooked, so I stopped using them, but I still play with him sometimes. This is a piggy bank that Dad never let me use because he didn't want the money getting everywhere. There's still like 1 cent in there, I think. And so the way I hacked it is you see how there are like these little holes, and then when you twist it, there are no holes. But then when you twist it, there are holes. I make it so the holes are showing. I put like a popsicle stick through there, and I poke this out, and then the money comes out. And I put all the money here. This is like a second piggy bank. So if you open it, it used to be an art container that my friend Julia gave to me. But it has like money from all the way around the world. I don't know where this is from. Still don't know. I think these are the same people. And this is American bills, a Lego, more money, fake gem, broken thing. Since I said I like football, these are football pictures. This is Warren Moon. This is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I learned on a show that some people used to call him Almond Ra. It's one of my favorite artists, Chance the Rapper. He wrote a song, I think, on the paper, but you can't read it because his head is blocking it.
He had a bunk bed that was in the same area.
And on the bottom bunk was like a play place.
Right. We had there a bunch of toys and whatnot shoved under the bottom bunk, but yeah, now that we have beautiful shelves for his books and drawers for his clothes, it's much easier to find a place for all of his fun stuff.
Why did the werewolf go to bed early?
No idea.
He was dog tired.
I thought it was because his dad asked him to. I wanted it to feel special. I wanted Arthur to know that he has a special place that is for him. I think we did that. Do you feel that way?
I used to love Pokemon. This is Charmander. And he shoots fire at his tail. This is Dad Cat. Dad, come.
Okay.
We're talking about Dad Cat here.
Okay. What do you want to say about him?
Dad Cat is a cat. You can't really see his eyes. You have to kind of now you can see his eyes. You kind of have to fluff the thing up.
He's a wonderful guy. We've had him for a while.
And this is a really special one because it looks like he has feelings. So he looks a little sad right now, right? Say yes. Yeah, a little sad. Then when you snuggle him, he looks a little happier.
Transformed. So we got our friend who's an architect, Corey Kingston. Her firm is called LeWitt, and she's based here in Brooklyn and in San Francisco, to help us imagine how we could make the bedroom more permanent. And she came up with a really imaginative and practical plan for making the shelves into, in effect, walls. And working with Corey and her firm LeWitt and with a fabricator called Stand and Build, as well as a contractor called Precision, we really transformed the space into something that feels like it can serve us over over the long haul. And it feels really good. It feels like a great home for the two of us. What do you think?
It's cool.
What do you like about living here?
To be honest, I like Mommy's house better. But,
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice house. She's got a great setup.
but I like the secret doors.
Yes, because the room's kind of hidden. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute.
That's never good.
The one thing I love about this apartment so much is the windows. We're kind of at the tree level, so we have in the spring, summer, and fall we have a beautiful view of the leaves. What I really like is that in the afternoon it tends to be cooler in here. It's shaded, and that feels really good. But the most special part of these windows is that they face east, so we get amazing sunrises and moonrises. Some of the full moons we have out these windows are just so special. Well, the truth is that I actually feel like being a father has made me a lot more fun as a person. Before I had Arthur, I tended to probably work too much and take my kind of studies and work too seriously. I feel like Arthur has really taught me a lot about being in the world and being joyful and being social. He's such an irrepressibly, joyful and social person. So he pulls me out of work and the apartment a lot, and we're always outside. We love to go out to dinner together, and our neighborhood has a lot of great restaurants. We love to go out for gelato. We love to meet friends, and it's been so wonderful because Arthur has really helped me remember how important it is to have fun. So the place where we sit most often in the apartment is actually at the kitchen table. We love to sit there and read together or work together. Arthur does amazing drawings, and yeah, that's where I do most of my work too. Before bed, we often read together on the couch, or we listen to baseball together on the couch. This is a really wonderful couch from Floyd. I like it especially because it's great for napping. And napping on the couch is a huge part of my life as a single father and as a person who works from home. Pretty much every afternoon around 1 o'clock, you can find me lying down there for 20 minutes, and it's amazing. This chair is so beautiful, obviously. I never sit there, except when Arthur's not here. When he's at his mom's, this door usually stays closed, and then I sit in this chair and do my favorite thing, which is just be quiet. I think that having Arthur, this is something that people say, but you can't really appreciate the truth of it until you allow yourself to love and be loved in the way that parents often do. I don't think that parenthood is the only way that you can love and be loved so deeply, but I do think that it's one place where we do kind of find the deepest forms of love. For me, Arthur has helped me remember what is wonderful about loving and being loved. He has helped me remember about what's wonderful about being a person in the world and discovering and enjoying and laughing. He has taught me just as much, if not more, than I've taught him. And I have grown just as much, if not more, than he has grown. And to do those things together has been really special for us. Our friend Corey Kingston, our architect and friend Corey Kingston from LeWitt, helped us design these bookshelves that are also serve as walls for Arthur's room. So there are shelves here, there are shelves on the other side, as well as drawers for his clothes, and they really work as walls, and they're ventilated at the top with really beautiful windows that open. And this is in effect my library of stuff that I'm working on. When he was born, it was the summer of 2017. We got to the hospital and Bill Cosby's mistrial was literally on every TV in the maternity ward. I mean, America's Dad. Apparently not. And I really, it wasn't only that, but not long before, my own father had a stroke that really changed our family. And in those moments of first becoming a father, I couldn't help but thinking that the fathers I had grown up with, the fathers I had known as a kid, no longer existed in exactly the same form as I had known them. I wanted to develop a way of caring for Arthur that felt good to the both of us. And I didn't know really where to start, so I did kind of the only thing that I know how to do, which is start researching the history of this idea called fatherhood. Like, where did it come from in the first place? How has it changed over time? And how might its history help us kind of find a way forward that felt good? I started the book because I wanted to connect with my son and my father. And that's what we've been working on. I'll tell you the story of the art. One of my favorite places in the world is the Phillips Collection in Washington, D.C. At the Phillips Collection, they have what's called the Rothko Room. All four walls feature full-size Rothko canvases that kind of change. They rotate among their collection. And when you walk into that room, those canvases just bring up this incredible feeling of like depth, but also calm. And you know, it just feels like those canvases are amazing on their own. They're amazing pieces of art, but what's so extraordinary about them is how they make you feel. And it's almost hard to describe like the depth of feeling that they bring up. And so I wanted, for the things I have on the walls here, to, I don't know, remember that experience. This is a Rothko that's at the Guggenheim. There are others in the bedroom.
What if my art teacher is hearing this right now and she'd be like,
I think she might be inspired to create a project for you guys where you could kind of paint your feelings in a way. Or
paint your feelings.
I love to cook. I love to cook for Arthur. Our friend and architect Corey encouraged us to do this bar so he could do his homework here while I cook. The homework part of that has yet to happen, but the cooking part of it sure does. My favorite part of the kitchen is actually the countertops. The countertops are Vermont marble. And actually the type of Vermont marble is called Vermont maple marble, which I find just to be so evocative and wonderful. I'm from Maine originally, but I have to be honest, no offense to my home state, but I think Vermont is the greatest state. And especially in the morning, the sunlight on these countertops is so special and always makes me think of Vermont. It's interesting because a lot of the colors in the apartment are green and blue. And then the pictures I've chosen for the walls are often this like orange color. And I don't know why there's like a baseline of green and blue and then the decorations are orange, but together they feel like they really work to set the kind of mood of the place where I want to be.
You might wonder where the fridge is. It's right here. Glory. Some glory over there. Glory over here.
All my favorite mugs have Arthur on them. The way I try to understand the history of fatherhood is by looking at the examples of men in history who are very well known, but are perhaps not so well known as fathers. For example, Aristotle, St. Augustine, Henry VIII, Thomas Jefferson.
What about Michael Jackson?
I have not looked at Michael Jackson. I don't know that he was formerly a father himself. Well, no, that's not true. He certainly was, but I didn't examine that particular case. Good suggestion. You should have made that about 2 years ago. Are you gonna bring a copy of the book over?
Yes,
bring
I'm
it over.
finding it, dude.
Okay, bring it over, dude. I feel like at the times in which they lived, they faced questions about what it means to be a man, what it means to be a father, what it means to be a family, that informed their extraordinarily influential work and ideas. About a year ago, as I was finishing, I was feeling a little frustrated that my research had not turned up a model of fatherhood that felt really comfortable for me. I found actually what I concluded, in fact, it's like that the history is actually not a great guide to being a father now, because the ways that people imagined that relationship in the past were so determined by their own particular times and places. I thought, I had this idea for the first time that I'm going to ask Arthur what it means to be a father, or what he thinks a father should be. And what did you say?
And I said a father should be funny and good at hugging.
Without missing a beat, Arthur said that a father should be funny and good at hugging. When you said that, I actually thought you were talking about Mom. Because she is both of those things, and I had not
You're
learned.
funny.
Well, thank you. Well, how about hugging?
You're funny and good at hugging. Mom's funny and good at snuggling.
Mom is both of those things, yeah. This is Virginia.
The gelato. The name of the wolf is Virginia?
Yeah, Virginia Woolf.
Virginia Wolf.
She's kind of the lady of the house, and she's a counterpart to Protection Wolf.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of our kind of feminine spirit. This cedar stump is where we put on our shoes. You should smell the cedar stump.
Oh, that smells good.
It's amazing, right? And cedar's I thought it was really beautiful, not only because of the color, but because it means something to me specifically. I discovered something about the writer Henry David Thoreau that no one had ever known, which is that
How do you know?
I discovered it.
Well, maybe other people have discovered it.
No one had ever known this. I discovered that Henry David Thoreau's family, who were well-known pencil makers, they were very famous pencil makers in the 19th century, they used wood that was probably, most likely, almost definitely, let's go with it, harvested by enslaved workers around the Gulf of Mexico. And one thing that we're working on doing now is tracing 200-year-old Thoreau pencils forensically to match the wood used in those pencils to wood from the Gulf of Mexico. So this cedar stump reminds me of Thoreau and this kind of hidden and interesting dimension of his life. All right, so Arthur had a chance to show off his bedroom. Let's go check out mine. So the rest of the house is pretty much dedicated to Arthur and our time together. This is where I lie down and be quiet, usually about 8:30 or 9 every evening after Arthur goes to bed. So this is probably the most comfortable chair in our house. It's a beautiful, amazing chair. I never sit there because it's not only a chair, but it usually is like a clothes storage unit. Okay? Most often we keep the clothes there. But the idea was that I could sit down, hang out, have a drink, whatnot. Maybe someday. We're working on it. Also, our book storage has fully overflown our living room full of bookshelves. Now I have this one in the corner, plus you can see right around the desk. I love to work here. It's a really beautiful desk that looks out onto the street and beautiful trees. The sun and the moon come up right here. Believe it or not, these are not real Rothkos, unfortunately. But again, we're working on it. I have a friend who works at Christie's, and they just auctioned off a beautiful Rothko this spring, and I think it was 38 million was the final price. So, you saw Arthur's piggy bank. We're saving toward that. This poster is of an exhibition of Milton Avery's, who was one of Rothko's mentors. This here is a Georgia O'Keeffe print of Desert Sunrise that I think is really beautiful and evocative. And I like that it's kind of the first thing I see when I wake up. One really special thing is this crystal. This is an orgone crystal, which was the substance discovered by the scientist and psychologist Wilhelm Reich. Wilhelm Reich was one of Freud's star pupils in Austria before World War II. He fled Austria for the United States along with many others. You know, one of the things that's really challenging about being a single father is that it's so consuming, and that it does make it hard to find time for yourself. It's hard to find time to date. Arthur and I have developed this extraordinary closeness and really special way of being and living together. I would like there to be room in that for a partner. I feel like anyone who's a single parent will know how hard it is to find and balance all those things at once. I will say also that Arthur's mother is such a special person. She's one of my oldest friends. Even though we don't live together and we're not married, we do have a wonderful family life together. We love doing things together. Here, I have that picture over here. This is another thing that's really special to me in this room. This picture is of Arthur's preschool graduation. And it includes, as you saw, it includes Jeppy. And what I love about this picture is it not only includes me and Arthur and his mom and Zai, his nanny, but it's one of those moments where you realize that what people say about parenthood is true. I mean, this was a 4-year-old's preschool graduation. It was a day in June, like this one in Brooklyn. It was hot. Everyone graduates from preschool. You know, there was never a question. And yet it was so special and so powerful and so profound just to watch the kids come in and how proud they were and how happy they were, and to celebrate and recognize that was a really special moment. Preschool graduation, you know, that's parenthood. Home means a place where we can be together. Yeah. And that's why this apartment feels so good, because it feels like a space where we can have fun and enjoy and grow and do the things that we love together. What does it mean to you?
It means to me like a mall.
A what?
In a fun way, a mall.
A mall? Home's like being in a mall.
The kitchen is the food court, and my room, the bathroom rooms are the furniture stores.
Interesting.
And then the fridge is, sometimes they have like in the middle of food court, they have like those games, like where you sit down and someone asks you like a couple questions. I feel like the fridge could be like, you try to keep your hand as long as in there as you can to try and get the food to eat at the food court.
It's like a grabbing arm?
A grabbing arm.
Interesting. Like a vending machine.
No, exactly not.
So you think our home, you think our home's like a mall, and your favorite part of me as a father is that my Amazon account is not password protected.
Yes.
I'm really gonna lock that up.
Please no.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.